to Disney World, but was eager to move on to do something bigger and different. So I took extra classes and graduated early, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do for a career, so I applied to go to Ecuador through the Rotary Youth Exchange and got to take my first trip out of the country. Is that a plane or is that a bumblebee? And when did Ecuador become a square? While I was there on a Skype call home, my mom got me thinking about college applications. I looked into UW, CU, CSU, and a few others that were kind of expensive. My mom didn't crush those dreams, but essentially said, "How poor do you want to be?" Thanks, Mom. My dad made the grand suggestion that I look at LCCC. He had taken classes there and said it would be a good place to figure out what I wanted to do. Plus, they had great scholarships and would bring me back home, which I didn't really like, to be honest. But come home I did, and I became a golden eagle at LCCC. This is the only way I know how to draw birds. It's an eagle, I promise. I was worried there wouldn't be much else to do, and I would be bored a lot, but I was happy to discover lots of opportunities to get involved. I joined the campus activities board and made lots of friends and helped plan some fun events. Balloons. From there, I got involved in student government, which was great because I was an executive and learned a lot of life skills and became a voice for the students. And I really got connected with LCCC staff members, which landed me a job in the Admissions and Welcome Center as an orientation leader, helping other students become a Golden Eagle. That's still a Golden Eagle. During all this, I of course was also going to classes to get my Associate of Arts in General Studies, which I was so happy to complete and graduate in 2014. Yay! Yay! With all these experiences, I finally learned what I wanted to study at my next stop at the University of Wyoming, majoring in communications with a double minor in business management and international relations. Thank you, LCCC, for changing my perspective and transforming me into the motivated, successful student that I am and will continue to be.
Fans, we're live here at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Golden Eagles come in hosting in the first round of the Region 9 tournament. They're sitting at the number 3 seed. They welcome Western Nebraska Community College, who's sitting the 6th seed. I'm Jose Arenas. I'm joined by my broadcast partner, Daniel Lucero. Daniel, how you doing?
Hey, you're doing good, Jose. Glad I'm here. Glad to be here, and hope to see the Eagles do well tonight.
It's that time of year again where basketball gets very exciting. Regardless of what level of play, you enter that month of end of February, month of March, and it's just basketball tournament after basketball tournament. And it's a great opportunity for us to call this game here as the Golden Eagles welcome Western Nebraska.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's good to see LCCC being able to host this playoff game. Hopefully, it gives them a lot of energy, keeps a lot of energy up, and gives them the upper hand in this game.
For the Golden Eagles, they come in to this afternoon's matchup at 19-11. The Cougars of Western Nebraska 17-13, and these two teams split earlier in the year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe the first time they met, it was 71-68. LCCC came out with the win, and Gavin Peppers was the leading scorer with 17 points. In the second game they played, Gavin was also the leading scorer. He had 34. And then in the last game they played, he had 39. So, I mean, Gavin's going to be a huge playmaker for the Eagles today. So I look to see Gavin do a whole lot for the Eagles.
And you mentioned Peppers. Peppers comes in leading the Golden Eagles in scoring, 18.5 points per game. Leads the team in assists as well with 3.8. It's just a key contributor for that Golden Eagles team. Kind of gets everything organized. Orchestrates the entire offensive set, whether it's to go into the basket or distributing.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Like you were saying, I mean, he's an orchestrator out there. I mean, he gets everything running the way it's supposed to, make sure the spacing and everything's right. And as long as he's doing that well, I don't see the Eagles doing much more than succeeding today.
In previous matchups, Daniel mentioned the Golden Eagles won the first meeting 71-68. Here at home, the Cougars of Western Nebraska took the second matchup in Scottsbluff 93-88. And looking at those box scores, I was able to see the Golden Eagles held Western Nebraska to 23% from the three-point line here in the first meeting. In the second meeting, Western Nebraska shot 53.3%. And the Cougars, a team that can shoot the basketball very well, especially from the three-point line. That's something the Golden Eagles must do this afternoon, is contain that three-point line.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. WNCC shoots 41.6% in threes, which is 7th in the nation. So they're a three-point threat, and LCCC has to do their best to get out on their shooters and also box out because, I mean, they're also well at defense on getting offensive rebounds. So the least amount of second chance points that they allow them to get, the better it's going to be for the Eagles.
And for the Golden Eagles, tip-off will be set here in just under 4 minutes. We're going to go ahead and take a break and then be back live for the playing of the national anthem.
For various reasons, many college students get close but don't finish their college degree or certificate. LCCC is working to help those students complete.
The completion agenda is simply about getting more students to complete a higher education credential, a degree or a certificate, something that will help them be successful in their future.
This is a national concern as the United States is slipping in comparison to other countries on their completion rates.
That and the fact that more and more jobs require some education beyond high school necessitates some action. So we need to shift our focus from just getting people into college and actually getting them to complete a credential.
LCCC has a nice head start, graduating the most students in the college's history this past year, despite the decline in enrollment.
The Board of Trustees has committed to an increase each year of 5% in the number of completions that we have. And in our first year of tracking this, we increased by 12%. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Strategies and new practices are being put into place to help with this agenda that ultimately better serve students, including clearly mapped programs, mandatory orientation, high-touch advising, and improved developmental coursework.
we're finally talking about student completion versus just student enrollment. We're really helping students to look at and focus on that end goal. And even before we are able to implement a lot of the things that we know will help, we're seeing those positive movements because we're focused on it.
I'm Lisa Murphy with this Laramie County Community College Spotlight.
Community colleges serve as an important bridge for students, transitioning them into higher education and careers.
In an educational ecosystem, you need a high school, you need a community college, and you need a Research One university to really cover everything.
LCCC embraces that transition role with a strong partnership with the University of Wyoming, providing it with developmental coursework.
Without us, so many UW students would not be able to exceed in their degree programs. And this is a relationship that you don't necessarily see. You wouldn't think, oh, the community college is doing all of the developmental math at the university. This is hundreds of students each and every term.
Data shows that students who graduate from a Wyoming community college and transfer to UW complete with a comparable average.
So a student can start with us, seamlessly transfer, or it can be done in the reverse. We have many UW students studying here and then transferring our courses back because it helps.
Back on the campus of Laramie County Community College in Cheyenne, Wyoming. For the home team, the Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles host Western Nebraska Community College Cougars out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska. This is the 3-6 matchup in the Region 9 tournament. And as we take a look at that Region 9 bracket, you know, the Golden Eagles, if they can get by Western Nebraska, match up with either Casper College or Little Bighorn. That tournament will take place in La Junta at Otero Junior College starting March 3rd. What are your takes so far on the bracket?
Well, looking at it, I don't necessarily see Little Bighorn getting the upset on Casper. Casper's done really well this season. I saw that Casper beat Gillette, who's number 1 in the region. So, it's going to be tough for Little Bighorn, but if LCCC wins, they're probably going to be looking at playing Casper. So that's going to be a tough matchup, but hopefully they can get the win today.
We'll go ahead and step away for just a bit for the playing of our national anthem.
For this Region 9 playoff game between the number 6 Western Nebraska Cougars and your number 3 Golden Eagles. In respect to our great nation, we will all please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Back on the campus here at Laramie County Community College. For the Golden Eagles, once again, the 3 seed entering the Region 9 tournament. They host Western Nebraska Community College. On their end of the bracket, they've got Casper College, Little Bighorn in the second 7 matchup, Otero and McCook in the 1 and the 8 matchup, and then Northwest College and Miles Community College in in the 4-5 matchup. Out of those teams, the Golden Eagles have played the number 1 seed Otero and have split with them in the regular season. We got to call that game earlier in the year, Daniel, and that was an exciting game.
Oh yeah, it definitely was an exciting game. But Cook has a lot of talent on their team. Otero, excuse me, has a lot of talent on their team, and they kind of gave them a run for their money, but it was a close game all in all, so I believe the Eagles have a chance, regardless of who they end up playing next or how far they get in the tournament. They still have a chance because they've been able to beat at least each opponent in their side of the bracket at least once.
And always looking in the tournament setting. That first matchup is always very difficult. There's a lot of emotions, a lot of adrenaline. How can you contain those emotions and contain that adrenaline? I mean, you've been an athlete. You know what it takes. It's a lot of it's mental preparation. You come into these ball games, correct?
Right. Yeah. It's definitely just a lot of practice. I mean, you just got to be confident that what you did all season was good enough to get you some wins in the playoffs. I mean, there's nothing more you really can do as long as you prepare the right way. You should be able to pull out some wins. So I see what the Eagles did this season should be good enough to get this first round win. And so let's see what they can do.
We take a look at the starting lineups. Our starters for the Cougars: number 3, Mason Smith, the 6'6" sophomore from Alpine, Utah. Number 5, Michael Sparks, a 5'9" freshman from Denver, Colorado. Number 20, Bo McVeigh, a 6'3" freshman from Gering, Nebraska. Number 21, Derek Bowers, a 6'3" sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. And number 44, Tyrell Williams, a 6'8" freshman from Miami, Florida. For the Golden Eagles, Dominic Heinzel, number 32, Isaiah Sherman-Newsom, number 24, Ola Iodele, number 12, Michael Obendu, number 33, Gavin Peppers, number 11. Golden Eagles in the white with the gold and blue trim. And early on, they're going to call a blocking foul on number 24, Isaiah Sherman-Newsom. That's going to send Bowers to the line, 4-2.
Looks like there was a little bit of movement there at the end, and then McNair came and got the block, but they ended up calling the foul.
And calling the foul with the body, signaled with the body, and Sherman-Newsom put his hand in the air saying, like, you know, I did contest that.
Right.
Bowers, 1 of 2 at the line. They're on the board with the 1-0 lead. Peppers brings the ball across the half, off to Sherman-Newsom. Sherman-Newsom to Peppers, back to Sherman-Newsom. Obendu. Cougars showing the 3-2 zone. Peppers to McNair. McNair, head fake, attacks the lane, off the glass.
Great job by McNair there to drive to the hole. I mean, that's all you can do in a zone. You got to drive past him to get some space.
And that fake drew Williams out of the paint. Was able to get him to bite and attack the lane.
Right, and Williams averages 1 block a game, so you got to make sure you can get him out of the paint if you want to get a good shot at him.
You said it, Williams, 1 block a game and also 8 rebounds a game. So if you can get him stretched, that's good news for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot about boxing out. You got to make sure you find your guy, and then you got to get those rebounds. You got to limit the amount of second chance shots that the Cougars get, and then you got to make sure that you give yourself as many opportunities to get second point shots as the Eagles.
We're going to call a tie-up down low on the block. Williams and Obendu. Possession will stay with the Golden Eagles as the Cougars won the tip. Peppers set to inbound on the baseline. Sherman-Newsom put the ball on the floor, spits the D, gets his ball back, ball knocked around on the ground. Finally secured by the Cougars, the ball into the hands of McVeigh. Attack the lane and Smith with the lay-in. And a 30-second timeout by the Golden Eagles. We'll go ahead and take a break. At the campus of Laramie County Community College, where the Golden Eagles trail by 1, 3-2, 18-22 remaining here in this first half. the intensity and the energy is there on both ends.
Yeah, you can see it. They both have the will to win today, and it's just going to be all about making the least amount of mistakes. Whoever's making the least amount of turnovers, getting the most amount of second chance shots on offense is going to get the win today, it looks like. But
Peppers 3 falls short.
And there's an offensive rebound there by McNair.
And we talked about it as well. That zone, very difficult to box out. Golden Eagles go 0 for 2 on that stretch. Ball last touched. I believe it went off of Williams. Yep, and that possession's going to stay with the Golden Eagles.
That was a good hustle by Heinzel there to continue to contest Williams and not allow him just to get that easy rebound.
And you bring up the offensive rebounds. The Golden Eagles do an excellent job of attacking the offensive glass, create a lot of second, third chance opportunities in those possessions.
Right, yeah. They average 15 offensive rebounds a game, which is 22nd in the nation. So they do a great job of offensive rebounding. And so hopefully that can work out for them today.
Obendu, square up jumpers, no good. Ball knocked around again. Heinzel with the board. Heinzel spin move, and then is fouled on the way up, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Heinzel playing like he's playing every game he's been playing over so far the last couple of games.
Yeah, Heinzel's putting a lot of effort in today. You can just tell he wants to win, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win. So I look forward to seeing him getting some more offensive rebounds today.
Sheer strength right there from Heinzel. No good on the first. As a team, the Golden Eagles come in shooting 66.9% from the foul line,
which isn't the best, but I mean, you can always change that game by game, but the average doesn't always tell the whole story. But they definitely got to do their best to get that percentage up today.
Okay. Heinzel knocks down the second. We're all knotted up at 3 apiece. That's going to go off the hands of McVay. I believe it bounced off his knee. Possession going to the Golden Eagles and back-to-back turnover.
It was a good job by Sherman Newsom. A lot of pressure there. Had a hand on the ball and ended up deflecting it and went off the Cougars. So great job on defense there.
And a foul underneath on the block on Williams. That forearm kind of across through the back. It's the right call. And I looked to that matchup, and I'm going to say there's a physical matchup between those two.
Oh, yeah. You're going to see a lot of pushing and shoving in that matchup today, but that's what it's all about.
Sherman Newsom off to Peppers. Peppers going to drive down the baseline. Hands it off to Heinzel. Heinzel fouled on the way up to the basket, and he'll go back to the line.
That was a great job by Peppers driving down the baseline, trying to find an open player, and then he ended up seeing Heinzel teed up, ready for the ball. So that was a great job.
And for Mason Smith, that's his second personal here early on in the first 3 minutes, and that's huge for the Cougars because he can shoot the ball forward.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that's gonna hurt the Cougars, but hopefully.
Checking in for the Cougars, number 25, Phil Fain. He'll replace Mason Smith. Heinzel knocks down the first of 2. Second on the way. Gets it to fall, and Heinzel 3 of 4 early on from the foul line.
Hopefully with Smith being out, the Cougars can take that to their advantage and get a good lead here.
Ball in the hands of Bowers. Bowers going to look to drive. So they're going to call a traveling violation. And that's the third turnover in the last 3 possessions for the Cougars. Credit to the Golden Eagles on great defensive possessions.
Oh yeah. I can't say much better things about their defense right now. I mean, they're all there. They have everything going on for them right now, and hopefully they can keep that going throughout the whole game.
Peppers to Sherman Newsom to Obendu. Obendu back to Sherman Newsom. He's going to square up for a 3. Too strong. Board secured by Williams. Williams outlets it to Sparks. Sparks to McVay. McVay knocks down a 3. And the Cougars regain the lead 6-5 off the transition 3 by Bo McVay.
Yeah, and as the Golden Eagles on defense, you got to do your best to transition from offense to defense as quick as you can. You can't allow that easy transition 3 to go in. So they're going to have to show a little more effort on the transition D, but they're doing a great job otherwise.
Ball underneath the Heinzel. Heinzel turnaround, falls short. Ball on the ground, secured by Bowers. Bowers outlets it to McVay. McVay cross-court pass to Sparks. Sparks head fakes. He's going to attack the paint. Finds Bowers. Bowers to McVay. McVay thought about a 3. Steps into a 2. No good. Josh McNair with the board. He's going to put the ball on the floor. And he's going to drive down the lane off the glass. And they're going to wave it off. as it hit the back end of the backboard.
Yeah.
So the basket will be waved off. No good. McNair will go to the line, though, and shoot 2. Personal foul will be charged to Derek Bowers, his first, team's 4th.
McNair's still shown a lot of athleticism on that play. I mean, using that contact and still finding a way to get the shot up. So it was a good job.
McNair gets the first of 2 to fall.
McNair's a 53.5% free throw shooter on the year, so he's a decent free throw shooter. I mean, he contributes at the free throw line, so that's all we need him to do.
Checking in for the Golden Eagles, number 22, Harrison Meads. Meads, the 6'7" freshman from New Plymouth, New Zealand. Second is no good from McNair, but Heinzel with another offensive board.
Heinzel's going to be a huge key for the Eagles today. He's getting a lot of offensive rebounds, so it's good to see him active on the glass.
Peppers has his dribble picked away by McVeigh. McVeigh is going to look to go coast to coast, and his laying off the glass is good.
Maybe a little too much dribbled into double coverage. So, I mean, that's kind of a threat for a turnover. You just got to make sure you can do what you can, but try not to do too much.
Peppers' drive on the other end is no good. Cougars back in possession. McVeigh is going to square up into another 3. It's too strong. Offensive board by Williams. He's going to go back up, and he's fouled on the way up by Meads. That's going to be Meads' first, and that's going to send Tyrell Williams to the line for 2.
I'm seeing a lack of communication between the Eagles right now. I mean, they need to be talking. Someone needs to be switching on to McVeigh on that shot. I mean, you can't let him have that wide open.
And in transition, you've got to be able to pick him up defensively in transition and not let him run. He likes to get into that running motion for that 3-point shot.
And Williams did a good job there boxing out Mead, and I mean, you can't do anything there. I mean, Harrison did his best to get around that and ended up clipping him from behind, so that's where you see that foul coming in.
Williams got the first one to fall. It's good on the second. Williams, the 6'8" freshman from Miami, Florida. He was at the University of Wyoming last year. Redshirted, transferred over to Western Nebraska. Strong physical presence.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean,
Hadrab with the flush on the other end for the Golden Eagles.
That was a great job. Definitely a good job. I mean, after that free throw, the Eagles did a good job hustling down the court and found Nassim coming down the lane. So that was a great job.
And a double dribble right there on the Cougars. Michael Connor Jr. thought about getting the ball off of his hands, put the ball back on the floor, and a turnover.
Yeah,
Western Nebraska.
Yeah, and hopefully the Eagles use that to their advantage and get a bucket here and hopefully tie it up and take the lead. That'd be great.
Peppers hands it off to Sherman Newsom, off to McNair. Peppers comes all the way across to the right-hand side. He's going to step into a 3 and knocks it down.
Like I always say, hand down, man down. I mean, if you don't have your hands up on Peppers, I mean, that's almost automatic. So that was a great job.
The Golden Eagles' leading scorer, Gavin Peppers, on the board with the 3. Golden Eagles have their first lead, 11-10. Ball dumped underneath to Williams. Hadrab with the block. He kicks it out to McVeigh, who steps into a 3, too strong. Williams with an offensive board again. And they're going to call a foul on Josh McNair. That's going to be McNair's first. That's going to be the team's 3rd. Western Nebraska will inbound the ball on the baseline, and Williams just, once again, got great position down low on the block.
Yeah, he does a good job getting good position. And then the Eagles found a way to try to get the ball back, and then Williams got the ball back again, got another offensive rebound. So like I said, it's all about limiting those second chance points.
And Williams will go back to the line. Hadrab's going to pick up his first personal as he bit on the head fake, was able to kind of leave his feet, and Williams able to draw the contact on the way up.
And anytime you leave your feet as a defender, it's pretty much a foul anytime. I mean, all it takes is for the offensive player to lean into you, and they're going to call that as contact. So there's not much you can do once you're in the air, so you got to do your best to stay on the ground.
Tyrell Williams knocks down the first on the year. He comes in shooting 65.5% from the foul line. He's 3 of 3 so far on the afternoon. Williams second. Too strong, but an offensive board by Connor Jr. His putback is no good. Ball secured by McNair. McNair's going to hand it off to Peppers. 11-11, 13:37 remaining here in this first half. Peppers hands it off to Sherman Newsom. McNair looks to spin. Gets into the lane. Off the glass and goes.
That was a great job by McNair. Used the spin move and the head fake. Ended up getting the easy layup. So that was a great job.
Golden Eagles regain the lead up 13-11. Connor Jr. attacks the glass. His lane is no good. They're going to wave it off. And they're going to call a foul on Phil Fain over the back.
Which was a good job. I mean, the Eagles got position. He couldn't get around him, and he ended up making contact from behind. So that was a good call, I believe.
Checking in for the Golden Eagles will be number 20, Jerry Luckett. Luckett, the 6'6" sophomore from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Luckett's going to attack the basket. His shot's blocked by Williams. Ball knocked loose. Regained by McNair. 13 on the shot clock.
Good job by Hadrab tipping that back out to Peppers.
Peppers off to McNair for three. Josh McNair's three goes in and out.
In and out. Can't do anything about that. It looked like it was going in and then right back out. So just got to be strong on the defensive end and let Williams the right pass.
Tyrell Williams just got his defender sealed, was able to turn, get the lay-in off the glass, and ties the game back up at 13. 12 and a half remaining here in this first half. Peppers attacks the lane, is fouled on the way up by Williams.
Peppers hit the ground pretty hard there, but he got up really quick, so that's good. But that's just one thing that you're gonna have to do with Williams. You got to do a shot fake with him, get him up in the air because he's gonna go for the block every time. And like we said, he averages a block a game. He already has 2 or 3 now. So I mean,
and that personal is the second on Tyrell Williams. 6 on the Cougars. Peppers at the line for 2. His first on the way. Nothing but net.
And like I was saying, if you can get Williams on the head fake, lean into him, get him his 3rd foul, then he's pretty much done until the next half. So I mean, if they could strategically do that, they would be better off. But now Williams is out of the game, so that's good news.
Bowers checks in for Williams. Ola Ayodele, number 30, the 6'4" freshman from London, England, checks in for the Golden Eagles. Peppers comes in shooting 82% from the foul line on the year. His second is good. Checking in for Peppers will be number 5, Thomas Trotman, the 5'9" sophomore from Denver, Colorado. Those last 2 free throws from Peppers regains the lead for the Golden Eagles, 15-13, 12-20 remaining. Sparks brings the ball across the half. Connors Jr. underneath. I believe it was Bowers who got the lay-in. And it was just a great backdoor cut by Bowers and a great feed by Sparks.
Yeah, it was a great job. Luckett was on his backside and got a good pass inside. So there's not much you can do there other than getting in front, and he was a little behind, so you can't do anything about that.
Back-to-back offensive boards, and Jerry Luckett secures it on the 3rd chance for the Golden Eagles.
And LCCC is showing why they're 22nd in the nation on offensive rebounds. I mean, that's what they do. They're really good at it. I mean, so hopefully they use that to their advantage, keep getting second chance shots, because that's where they're getting a lot of their points today. Great job behind the seam.
And Hadrab with his 2nd block of the afternoon. And right there, he just withstood the contact. Phil Fain's spin move kind of took him behind the basket and just kind of set himself up to be blocked by Hadrab.
Yeah, that's right. That was a great job behind the seam.
Trotman off to Luckett. Luckett hands it off to Sherman Newsom. Trotman bounce pass to Hadrab. Spin move. Bounce pass underneath to Ayodele. He's too strong off the glass. McVeigh off to Fain. Fain slows it back off to Connors Jr. Connors Jr. His pass is picked off by Sherman Newsom. Sherman Newsom's going to bring it across the half. He's going to attack the lane. Off the glass it goes!
Great job by Isaiah there, taking it coast to coast. I mean, he found an opening in the lane, took it, and got the easy 2.
A timeout by the Cougars, full timeout. We'll go ahead and take a timeout ourselves. Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Golden Eagles have a 4-point lead, 19-15. We're at the 11-minute mark here in this first half. And for the Golden Eagles, it's been second chance opportunities attacking that offensive glass here in the first half.
Yeah, that's right. They're doing a great job boxing out, getting those second chance shots, and they're getting good looks. I mean, they're not wasting those second chance opportunities. So, I mean, that's a great job. You can't do anything better there.
You said it. Those second chance and third chance opportunities are right in front of the hoop, and that's dividend kind of pays when you that pays the fact that the Cougars in that zone defense very difficult to pick up the man and box out, and that's what creates some of those second chance opportunities for the Golden Eagles. It's maybe slowing down the Cougars a little bit in transition.
Yeah, definitely, and like you were saying, like that 2-3. I mean, it is hard. It is hard to match up man to man when it comes down to boxing out, and considering the Eagles have their guys spaced out just right. I mean, they can find their guy easily and get the box out, and then you see all those offensive rebounds coming in.
Bowers attacks the basket. Is fouled on the way up. Basket's good. So he'll try to complete the three-point play. They're going to charge the foul to Jerry Luckett. That's going to be his first, team's fifth. Bowers, the 6'3" sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona.
He's a 50% free throw shooter.
He knocks down the free throw and completes the three-point play. The lead cut back down to 1. 19-18 Trotman. Off to Luckett. Luckett squares up. He's going to attack Bowers. Off the glass and good.
Yeah, that was a good job by Luckett. Ended up getting aside Bowers and got the easy 2, so hopefully he can get a few more of those.
Sparks' lay-in, acrobatic lay-in is good.
Yeah, I put a lot of good spin on that one and ended up getting it in. It's pretty good defensive effort for the most part, though.
On the floor for the Golden Eagles, Alfonso Anderson, a freshman from Newark, New Jersey. Ball into the hands of Anderson. Anderson back to Trotman. Trotman to Ayodele. Ayodele bounce pass to Hadrab. Hadrab turnaround off the glass is good.
That was great. Looked like some old Tim Duncan there, so that was a good job by Nassim.
And kind of off balance, kind of got knocked a little bit. So great composure right there by Hadrab down low on the block.
Yeah, definitely. Good balance there.
Bowers.
Great defensive effort and good job by Nassim having his feet set.
They're going to call the foul on Bowers. That's going to be his second. So 3 Cougars with 2 personals. Mason Smith with 2, Derek Bowers with 2, and the big boy Tyrell Williams with 2.
Yeah, and that's definitely a good thing for the Eagles. I mean, gives them the advantage. They barely have any fouls in any of their star players, so they're all out there on the court able to contribute a lot. So the more of those star players and key players for the Cougars stay out, the better for the Eagles.
Trotman down low to Heinzel. Heinzel is going to look to back down. His turnaround off the glass is no good. Board secured by Fain.
A little off balance there.
Fain's going to outlet it to Sparks. Sparks to Mason. Chase Mason puts the ball on the floor. Goes between his legs. Back in the hands of Sparks. 15 on the shot clock. He's going to use a Fain screen to attack the paint. Is fouled on the way up. And a chance to complete the three-point play and tie this game up.
Yeah, and Trotman's kind of handshaking there, and that's what the refs got him on. So got to try and do your best to keep your hands up and out.
That's going to be Trotman's first personal. Michael Sparks looks to complete the three-point play, the 5'9" freshman from Denver, Colorado. An excellent free throw shooter, 87.5 coming in on the year. Completes the three-point play, and we're tied up 23 apiece here at LCCC Gymnasium in this first-round matchup of the Region 9 tournament. The Golden Eagles, the 3 seed. The Cougars, the 6 seed. Peppers back on the floor for the Golden Eagles. On the floor for the Golden Eagles. Peppers, Luckett, Anderson, Heinzel, Ayodele. Golden Eagles in the white with the gold and navy trim. The Cougars in the navy blue with the white trim. Peppers thought about the 3, steps into a 2, fouled on the way up, and we'll go to the line.
Yeah, it was a good job by Peppers getting that shot off regardless, but had a guy right on his back, so that's where you see the foul come in.
Personal foul charge to Austin Payne. That's his first. Peppers, the 6'2" sophomore from Brookville, Maryland. Good on the first. He knocks down the second. If you're the Golden Eagles, that's a guy you like having at the line.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Gavin's an 82% free throw shooter, so he's pretty much automatic there at the free throw line, and that's a good thing for the Eagles. And as we look back at some of the past matchups, he's been at the free throw line a lot, so that's a big contribution there.
The Golden Eagles get out in transition there as Ayodele found Alfonso Anderson, who completes the lay-in, and the Golden Eagles push the lead to 4. And now picked off by Anderson. Anderson, the other way, gets the lay-in! And the Golden Eagles with their largest lead, 29-23. Timeout, Cougars. We'll take a break. Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Golden Eagles have a 29-23 lead, 8:25 remaining. And for the Golden Eagles, these last two possessions have led to baskets in transition.
Oh yeah, great defense, and then good job to get back on transition, get those easy offensive 2-pointers, and now they got their largest lead, 29-26 now. So a lot of, I'd say the energy's strong with the Eagles today, and they're slowly taking it from the Cougars. So.
You mentioned during the timeout, Tyrell Williams checking back in for the Cougars. He showed a great first half, at least here in this first half, at least early on. And then now they're going to call an illegal screen on Michael Connor Jr.
Yeah, he's got a few blocks today for the Cougars, and but the Eagles have been doing a good job getting him to foul. So I mean, the more time you have him on the bench, the better.
Peppers off to Anderson. Anderson thought about feeding underneath, finds McNair. McNair off to Luckett. Luckett squares up. Thought about it and is going to attack. His shot's rejected by Williams and then fouled.
And there Williams is with another block. I mean, that, like I said, you got to head fake. You got to jump stop and head fake because you go straight up. He sees you coming. He's right there in the middle of the zone. So he's in perfect position to get a block every time.
And that last personal charge to Luckett, that's his second. That's going to send Dalen Harris to the line for 1-1. Harris, the 6'5" freshman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
He's a 48.9% free throw shooter, so he's a decent free throw shooter for the most part.
Free throw is good. I looked back at the first meeting. Both teams struggled from the foul line the very first time these two teams met. Western Nebraska shot 65.2%. Golden Eagles were 64%. Both teams seem to be shooting very well, though, early on here in this game.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to be a different story at the free throw line today, and not too much fouling, but at the same time, there's a few fouls here and there.
McNair. Heinzel looks to back down. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson dribbles it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Peppers is going to fire a three. No good. And then a foul charge to Alfonso Anderson. And that's going to send the Cougars to the line again for a 1-1.
I don't really know if you could have called that a foul. I mean, it was probably the best case scenario for that. I mean, it would have been a hard call for possession regardless, but I feel like Alfonso had a hand on the ball before any contact was made. So it's kind of confusing call for me there.
And back at the foul line will be Harris. Harris, who just was at the line, went 1 of 2 in the previous possession. Knocks down the first. The lead cut down to 4. Harris gets the second to fall. Phil Fain checking back in for the Cougars. Peppers walks the ball across the half. Hands it off to Anderson. Anderson thought about it. Hands it off to McNair. Back to Peppers. Peppers splits the off into Anderson. It uses the Peppers screen. Anderson's going to fire a three. It's no good. Fain with the board. Fain to Sparks. To Harris. Harris back to Sparks. Sparks down the lane. Is fouled on the way up. Basket's no good, but Sparks will go to the line. Personal is charged to Heinzel. That's going to be his first.
And Sparks is the best free throw shooter on the team, shooting 87.5%. So that's the guy who won to foul the least, and the guy who won at the free throw line the least today.
Sparks, the 5'9" freshman from Denver, Colorado, was able to kind of get the fake, get them to bite, and then attack the paint and draw contact.
He's done that a few times today, and like I said, the Eagles got to just do a better job just staying on the ground. I mean, our posts are bigger than him, so they could almost block a shot if they just had their hands up. Or at least it's better to have a contested shot than have him at the free throw line. So
Sparks cuts the lead back down to 1 for LCCC. 29-28. We're under 7 here in this first half. McNair to Sherman Newsom. Flares out on the three, off to Opendu. Back to Sherman Newsom. To McNair. McNair is going to put a three. It's going to fall short. Connors Jr. is going to pick up the board. He's going to go try to go coast to coast. Hands it up to Harris. Harris. Basket is good. The Cougars regain the lead. 30-29. 6.5 remaining. Timeout. LCCC. 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and be back after the break. Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Cougars just regained the lead for the first time in about a 7-minute stretch. Gavin Peppers brings the ball across for the Golden Eagles. Sherman Newsom off to Heinzel. Heinzel. McNair underneath to Sherman Newsom. Sherman Newsom has his shot rejected by Fain. Sparks ended up with the ball. Outlets it to Connor Jr. And he's going to get called for stepping on the sideline. Possession going to the Golden Eagles. Just tried to get in a little too hurry right there was Connor Jr.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And Connor Jr. and Peppers are getting into a physical matchup here. Connor's just pushing off here and there, and Peppers just pushing off here and there. So it's a good matchup there.
Sherman Newsom left wide open for the three, no good. McNair had a tip in. It was too strong. Sparks looks to go coast to coast. Hands it off to Connor Jr. He's going to step into a three, no good. Ball knocked on the ground. Obendu secures it. He's going to bring it across the half. He's going to find Sherman Newsom. Back in the hands of Peppers.
That was a good job there by Obendu, getting it across half court rather than panicking and forcing a bad pass.
Ball underneath to Heinzel. Cross-court pass to Sherman Newsom. Obendu's going to look to back down Fain. Gets up. His lay-in is good.
That was a nice finger roll there by Obendu.
And Obendu, great control. What I like about Obendu is he can go to his left and to his right. Very ambidextrous as to which way he can spin off of the defender.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to be able to be strong with both hands because then you have options. You don't have to force it up with your right when it's a better shot with your left or vice versa.
They're going to call a foul down low on the block on Dominic Heinzel. That's going to be his second.
On the floor, number 32, Dominic Heinzel, the second person.
This is Tyrell Williams to the line, who's a 65.5% free throw shooter.
Tyrell Williams, 32.
Williams at the line. Williams looks to be catching his breath as well. He gets the free throw to fall. You mentioned Tyrell Williams comes in shooting 65.5 from the line, but has done a great job here in this first half.
Yeah, he's a huge defensive presence for him today, and he's getting a few decent plays here on offense, getting good position, finding a way to box out the Eagles, but the Eagles are still finding a way to get some stops on him, so that's always good too.
Williams no good on the second. Golden Eagles secure the board, and with 31-31 here as we're under the 5-minute mark. They're going to get a blocking foul on Connor Jr. That's going to be his second. Credit to Michael Connor Jr. He's made it difficult for Peppers to get to the lane.
Yeah, definitely. He's contesting every shot that he takes. He's making it hard for him to move around without the ball in his hands as well. So, I mean, like I was saying, it's a physical matchup between the two, and it's going to be a good matchup throughout the game.
Both teams now in the double bonus here with about 4:47 remaining in the first half. So any foul now going to the basket will send someone to the line for two. Peppers was good on the first, the second on the way, and he gets it to fall.
Shooting 100% of free throws today, and like we were saying, he's 82% on the season, pretty much automatic. So
Sparks to Fain. Fain squares up to the hoop. He's going to look to attack the basket. His shot was just kind of thrown up.
The draw almost got a finger on that too. So I mean, it's not like it was an easy shot. It was off balance and it was contested. So it was kind of surprising that it went in.
Peppers to Sherman Newsom. Sherman Newsom off to McNair. McNair. He's going to go to the lane and flushes it home. And that's the athleticism that Josh McNair can bring to the Golden Eagles.
He's bringing back the nickname Air McNair like it's nothing. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God.
Let's see if that fires up this gymnasium here. Golden Eagles up by 2, 35-33. We approach 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Connor being defended by Peppers. Fain to the basket. They're going to wave the basket off. They're going to call the foul on the floor, but Phil Fain will go to the line to shoot two. Personal foul will be charged to Michael Obendu. That's going to be his first.
I'm still wowed by that last dunk. Like, I've never seen McNair do something like that before, so that was...
I traveled with the team to Torrington, and he took off from about the second mark from the free throw line and threw it down on someone. So I know he could fly, but I for sure thought he was just going to lay and take the two.
Yeah, it looked like he was just going to put in a finger roll, and then all of a sudden you see him throw it down. What an amazing play there.
Fain no good on the first. The second on the way. Gets it to fall off the back iron. 35-34. Golden Eagles up by 1. McNair to Sherman Newsom. Sherman Newsom off of Hadrob's screen. Steps into a 2. And it's nice to see Sherman Newsom, who hasn't gotten a three-point shot to fall, but to step in and get comfortable on the 2.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, he's the best three-point shooter on the team, but he can contribute inside the line as well. So it's nice to see him get his first shot go down, and hopefully that builds his confidence up.
Connor Jr. off to Harris, to Sparks. 10 on the shot clock. Sparks, hesitation dribble, drives to the lane. No good. Williams. Harris is going to fire it up and hits the shot at the buzzer.
That was a difficult shot. I mean, he was fading to the right. It was contested. I mean, it was a pretty lucky shot for the most part. I'm not going to lie about that.
McNair hands it off to Peppers. Peppers is going to fire the 3. Gavin Peppers for 3.
And the Eagles and their fans are showing a lot of energy right now. As long as the fans can keep their energy levels up, I think that's going to help the Eagles out a lot.
Connor Jr. underneath to Williams. Williams. Traveling violation on Tyrell Williams. Shuffling the feet.
That was a good job by the Eagles. They double-teamed him under the hoop. I mean, there's nothing you can do there, and then that's why you see him commit the travel. So.
And credit to Hadrob right there. Kept his feet on the ground, didn't bite on a fake, withstood the contact, and forced the traveling violation on Williams.
Yeah,
and Williams looks to be sucking air right now. He's been playing a lot of minutes here in this first half.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I feel like Coach Vicka probably gave Nassim a talking to about that, and he ended up making the change. So good job.
Tie up, jump ball underneath. That possession's going to go to Western Nebraska. But for Peppers, that's what you want to see him. You want to see him attack the basket, get those defenders to suck in, and see if he can dish it out right there. He did, I think, the right decision and go to the basket, just unable to complete the lay-in.
Yeah, most definitely. That's what he does best. He's really good at doing that, and really high percentage shot. I mean, not much better shot you can get off right there. So that was a good job by him.
Sparks off to Bowers. Fain going to go to the basket, off the glass.
That was a good effort there by Fagan, but I mean, the Eagles did a good job contesting that shot. It's not like it was easy, so it's always good to have a contested shot.
Lead down to 3, 41-38. McNair to Obendu. Obendu going to put the ball on the floor. Spin move. Off the glass, no good. Ball knocked loose. Secured by Bowers. Bowers to Harris. Harris, lay-in, all short. McNair secures it.
Refs issue a bench warning.
Is that the issue? You're right, down low on the floor was a bench warning.
Ficka's got to calm down. He's got the warning already and got the ref's attention, so he needs to take a seat and just kind of cool out.
That call though hurts the Golden Eagles. They had a 2-on-1 break going the other way.
Yeah, it definitely does. But I feel like it was still a good call. I mean, you had a dude on the ground. I mean, there's nothing really you can do.
Peppers with his second 3 of this first half.
He's feeling it now. If Gavin's ever been in his zone, he seems to be in it now.
And then he comes up on the other end with the block. Gavin Peppers secures the ball.
He's doing it all. He's contributing everywhere on the floor, offensively and defensively. Great showing here by Peppers.
Gavin Peppers, coast to coast. And I tell you what, Gavin Peppers has done this all year long. This isn't nothing new that he's done on the floor. He's done this from the get-go. Had a career-high 39 last weekend at NJC. An excellent player in my mind.
Yeah, it's definitely not a surprise that he's doing what he's doing today. I mean, he's an all-around good player offensively and defensively, and it's great to have him on the team. He contributes everywhere.
Phil Fade's jumper's no good. Board secured by Sherman Newsom. Gives it to Peppers. Peppers doing the right decision, going for the last shot. Makes sense. Up by 8. Hold and try to see if you can extend this lead to 10, maybe to double digits. And not the Cougars have another possession at the end of the half.
Most definitely. And then another thing I like about Peppers, he's a great ball handler. I mean, he knows how to get space when he needs it, and he's a great shooter as well.
At the half, the Golden Eagles 46, Western Nebraska 38. Let's keep it here. We're going to keep it here for just about 15 seconds. Daniel, so far in this first half, it's been Gavin Peppers took over in the last minute.
Right, yeah. All the energy right now is with the Eagles. Hopefully they can keep that coming out of the half. Going into the half, like you said, I mean, Peppers is on fire right now. He can't miss, and he's doing everything offensively and defensively that you'd want your players to be doing.
At the half, the Golden Eagles up by 8, 46-38. We'll go ahead and take a break and then be back right before the start of the second half. Ready?
Hi, I'm Katie Wells, and this is my LCCC story. I was born in Maryville, Missouri. I was a pretty cute baby, and then I went to Minnesota for just a little bit. Then I moved to South Dakota for 8 years. Oh, and that's the fish hatchery. You know, the fish needs some bubbles. And finally ended up in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Growing up, I always dreamed about becoming a princess, but after some doctor's appointments, that seemed like a fun career too. Growing up with 2 brothers, I learned I didn't want to be a princess anymore and got into sports. I played all of the sports, but wasn't good at them all. I was really just good at soccer. I liked soccer so much, I played for Cheyenne Central High School. Go Indians and Pluck the Duck. Is that how you draw braids? I did well in school and had lots of good friends. See, we're even holding hands. I got involved doing yearbook and DECA, and I got to go to Disney World, but was eager to move on to do something bigger and different. So I took extra classes and graduated early, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do for a career, so I applied to go to Ecuador through the Rotary Youth Exchange and got to take my first trip out of the country. Is that a plane or is that a bumblebee? And when did Ecuador become a square? While I was there on a Skype call home, my mom got me thinking about college applications. I looked into UW, CU, CSU, and a few others that were kind of expensive. My mom didn't crush those dreams, but essentially said, "How poor do you want to be?" Thanks, Mom. My dad made the grand suggestion that I look at LCCC. He had taken classes there and said it would be a good place to figure out what I wanted to do. Plus, they had great scholarships and would bring me back home, which I didn't really like, to be honest. But come home I did, and I became a golden eagle at LCCC. This is the only way I know how to draw birds. It's an eagle, I promise. I was worried there wouldn't be much else to do, and I would be bored a lot, but I was happy to discover lots of opportunities to get involved. I joined the campus activities board and made lots of friends and helped plan some fun events. Balloons. From there, I got involved in student government, which was great because I was an executive and learned a lot of life skills and became a voice for the students. And I really got connected with LCCC staff members, which landed me a job in the Admissions and Welcome Center as an orientation leader, helping other students become a Golden Eagle. That's still a Golden Eagle. During all this, I of course was also going to classes to get my Associate of Arts in General Studies, which I was so happy to complete and graduate in 2014. Yay! Yay! With all these experiences, I finally learned what I wanted to study at my next stop at the University of Wyoming, majoring in communications with a double minor in business management and international relations. Thank you, LCCC, for changing my perspective and transforming me into the motivated, successful student that I am and will continue to be.
For various reasons, many college students get close but don't finish their college degree or certificate. LCCC is working to help those students complete.
The completion agenda is simply about getting more students to complete a higher education credential, a degree or a certificate, something that will help them be successful in their future.
This is a national concern as the United States is slipping in comparison to other countries on their completion rates.
That and the fact that more and more jobs require some education beyond high school necessitates some action. So we need to shift our focus from just getting people into college and actually getting them to complete a credential.
LCCC has a nice head start, graduating the most students in the college's history this past year, despite the decline in enrollment.
The Board of Trustees has committed to an increase each year of 5% in the number of completions that we have. And in our first year of tracking this, we increased by 12%. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Strategies and new practices are being put into place to help with this agenda that ultimately better serve students, including clearly mapped programs, mandatory orientation, high-touch advising, and improved developmental coursework.
We're finally talking about student completion versus just student enrollment. We're really helping students to look at and focus on that end goal. And even before we were able to implement a lot of the things that we know will help, we're seeing those positive movements because we're focused on it.
I'm Lisa Murphy with this Laramie County Community College Spotlight.
Community colleges
For me, being a transfer student, I'm in my sophomore year. I just felt like being here at LCCC was a great opportunity for me to get better, win, and move on to the next level, and also take care of my academics.
Well, originally I was at another junior college called Trinity Valley, and one of my assistant coaches knows Coach Picca, and I thought it was a better opportunity for me to come here.
Last year I was at a NCAA Division II school, and I thought I was most likely going to stay there for all 4 years, but what happened was at the end of the season, my coach here ended up resigning, so I wanted to look at all my possibilities, and LCCC kind of just fell out of the sky, and it turned out to be a really good choice for me.
This year and last year, pretty talented squads, very talented individuals. It's been fun playing against, Division I type athletes and stuff like that. So I've had a good time. I've enjoyed it.
It's been great. Even though, I've been here short, it's my first year and my last year, but I feel like it's helped me, become a better leader on the court and off the court to set an example for the younger guys on the team. And I think I've gotten better as a player as well, and I've grown, gained some friends through. All my teammates, I love them. They're all great. So I know I have more friends for life. I definitely feel like me, my teammates, my coaches are definitely like a family. We're all real close. I feel like we work well together, and we've achieved a lot, and we still got a lot to prove. We all have one goal in mind, and I think we can go pretty far.
I'd have to say camaraderie and teamwork. Coming here, everybody meshed so well together, and we've all created such a big bond, being my teammates, that I feel like that's contributed mostly to our success this year.
The most important thing I would say is work ethic. Coach Picca is really key on guys going 100%. That seems to be a lot of the reason why we've been successful this year.
I feel like during my time here, the most important thing I've learned is that you can't take opportunities for granted, because time really flies fast and opportunities are limited. So whether it's in the classroom or on the court or just in life, you gotta make the most of every opportunity, go hard in everything you do.
Man, after LCCC, I hope to go somewhere and continue playing. that's the goal. Go to a 4-year where I can have a good last 2 years and really contribute to a team and get a scholarship and get my academics paid for and my 4-year thing with a bachelor's.
My plans are to go to another university, a 4-year university, and further my education and continue playing basketball, fit into a program where I can play and be a key contributor to the team's success.
Back at LCCC Gymnasium for this Region 9 men's basketball first round matchup. The Golden Eagles come in as the 3 seed, host Western Nebraska Community College Cougars. And for the Golden Eagles, really gained some separation at the end of that first half for a 46-38 lead.
Oh, yeah. And you see Gavin Peppers, huge contributor today. He went on a huge run there at the end. He's feeling it. Hopefully he's still feeling it coming out of the half, and hopefully their energy is still with the Eagles coming out of the half. And it's good to see the crowd getting into it today. Haven't seen a whole lot of that, so it's great to see the crowd getting into it.
Daniel, you mentioned it. Gavin Peppers, 17 points in that first half. 7 of those came in the last minute, 15 seconds. Knocked down back-to-back threes, but has also done a great job at the foul line, going 6 for 6. Peppers was 4 of 9 from the field in the first half, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. For the Cougars, though, they got to the free throw line 18 times in that first half.
Yeah, it's all about position. The Eagles weren't getting the best position on defense. They were allowing Williams to get around him here a few times here and there, and ended up fouling him that way, and then hand checking here and there. So you just gotta stay within yourself and just kind of lay back on your defensive effort. Ooh!
Here we are for the start of the second half. And the Golden Eagles look to go for an alley-oop attempt to find McNair. The ball wasn't there, knocked off. Last touch by the Golden Eagles in possession to the Cougars.
McNair kind of ran into a brick wall there with Williams standing there, so not a whole lot he could have done, but it was good effort for the most part.
Golden Eagles in the white with the golden navy trim. The Cougars in the navy blue with the right trim. Bowers, spin move. Spin move is no good. McNair with the board. And McNair had a big presence in that first half. 7 points, 7 rebounds in the first half for Josh McNair. Not to say probably a highlight reel dunk as well.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. McNair's always a good contributor for the team. We can talk all day about what McNair does. I mean, he's a 51.3% three-point field goal shooter. So he's one of the best shooters on the team. I mean, he has a high field goal percentage. And he does a lot of good things for the team. So I look forward to seeing him doing a whole lot more for the team.
On that last possession, an offensive foul charge to Michael Obendu. Look to back down his defender. They're going to say lower that shoulder, so the foul to Obendu. That's going to be his second, team's first of the second half. Ball into the hands of Mason Smith. Smith thought about it. Hands it over to Bowers. Cross-court pass to Sparks. Sparks dribbles back out with 8 on the shot clock. He's going to call for a screen. Actually, they're going to get it to Mace Smith, head fake, steps into a jumper, and Josh McNair with the board.
That was good defensive effort there by the Eagles.
Sherman Newsom for 3!
Sherman Newsom being a 37.9% three-point shooter, can't give him that much space. He's automatic. We've talked about it plenty of times before. You give him that much space, he's going to make you pay for it.
Sparks comes off the screen, hands it off to Bowers. Bowers gets into the paint, over to McVeigh, left open for 3.
Good job by McNair getting a hand on it.
And they're going to say McNair got a hand on it, and that possession's going to stay with the Cougars. 11 on the shot clock. But the Golden Eagles have their largest lead of the game by 11, 49-38. So we're approaching 18 minutes remaining. Smith to Bowers. Bowers looks to feed Williams. He can't secure the ball. Possession going to the Golden Eagles.
It was a good job by Obendu getting a hand on that, and Heinzel making sure that he keeps Williams in front of him. That's going to be the key. You can't let Williams get in front of you because then that's almost automatic for him, or it could send him to the foul line. So smart play there by the Eagles.
Sherman Newsom for 3. No good. Ball secured by Bowers. Bowers brings it across the half, but I'm all right with Sherman Newsom taking that 3. Sparks three's no good. Heinzel outlets it to Sherman Newsom. Acrobatic step back, and he gets at the ball, and the lead pushed to 13.
That was a great job by Isaiah. He hustled the ball up in transition, went to the hole, drew contact, was off balance, still found a way to get the shot in. So that was a great job there.
Williams can't secure it.
Great effort by Heinzel there. Like I said, he got behind him there again, found a way to get the ball out of his hand.
Shot. McNair blocked on the way to the basket. Possession will stay with the Golden Eagles.
Refs are just kind of letting them play right now, it looks like.
Checking in for the Cougars will be number 10, Austin Payne. Phil Fain also returning for the Cougars, number 25. He's going to replace Williams.
Good to see Williams back on the bench. Always a good thing to see him over there.
McNair to Sherman Newsom. Three falls short. Bowers with the board. He's going to kick it ahead to Smith. Smith puts the ball on the floor to McVeigh. And that's what you want to do. You want to force Smith and McVeigh to put the ball on the floor and force them to shoot. But just as I say that, Bowers comes back and knocks down the three.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a poor defensive effort there, but all around the Eagles are showing good defense. And good job there by...
On the floor to the 20.
They're going to call the foul on the floor. No basket. That's going to be charged to Bo McVeigh.
Good job by Peppers getting to the hole, though.
McNair set to inbound from the side. He finds Peppers. Peppers thought about the step back three. Sherman Newsom's going to attack the paint. He's going to hit McNair. McNair. 20 seconds in. He steps back, jumper.
McNair's feeling it, but had a few words for Bowers right in front of the ref. Not a smart idea by McNair.
They're going to issue the technical foul. Not exactly sure.
Technical foul number 12. Josh McNair. Second for the Eagles.
Probably taunting.
Mason Smith can't get the shot to fall. Gets the second to fall.
Yeah, like I said, as McNair, you gotta kind of look around if you're gonna do something like that. Make sure you don't do it right in front of the ref. I mean, you're gonna get called for a technical every time for that.
Golden Eagles back up by 11 though. Smith off to Payne. Payne puts the ball on the floor to Bowers. Bowers back-to-back threes, and you might want to step and close that down. He knocked it down the first time.
You got to do a better job getting out on him. I mean, like I said, you give any guy enough space like that, it's almost automatic. So.
McNair to Heinzel, spin move. No good. Smith with the offensive board. He outlets it to Bowers. Bowers going to drive down the baseline. He's going to circle right back out to Smith. Smith to Payne. Payne to Bowers.
Eagles are having some good communication on defense here. They're talking on the switch, and that's what you have to do. Great job by Isaiah getting the pick from behind.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Returning for the Golden Eagles will be number 20, Jerry Luckett. And for the Cougars, it's number 22, Chase Mason. Mason set to inbound on the baseline. 2 seconds on the shot clock for the Cougars. Something's got to be fired up quick. Mason Smith's three is no good. And they're going to call a shot clock violation on the Cougars. I'd also like to give a little shout out to the Salisbury family out in Texas for listening in and watching us live this afternoon. Great supporters of Golden Eagles athletics and the LCCC men's basketball. So thanks to the Salisbury's family out in Texas for tuning in this afternoon. Heinzel down low on the block. The strip. Bain secures the ball.
I was probably a good no call. I mean, a little out of control on both sides.
Mason, step back three is no good. Last off the knee of McNair. Ball will stay with the Cougars.
in a situation like this, you just kind of get a little, slow down a little bit, get cool and collected, and then go from there. But forcing up shots, forcing passes, like, you're not going to get anything good out of that. But there's Isaiah with a nice steal.
And Isaiah goes coast to coast, is fouled on the lay-in. He's going to go to line and shoot two. He looks to be shaking up a little bit too. Kind of landed on the hip.
Yeah, landed a little hard there.
Sherman Newsom. Good on the first. Isaiah Sherman Newsom, the 6'3" sophomore from Anchorage, Alaska.
It's a 69.4% free throw shooter, so it's a pretty good contributor at the line.
Knocks down the second. We push back to 10. 55-45 as we're under 15 minutes remaining here in this second half.
And there's Tyrell Williams again, back in the game.
And he's going to be picked up by Dominic Heinzel. So that's, once again, we're going to watch that physical
matchup. Exactly.
Mason, right-hand side, finds Williams. Williams to McVeigh. McVeigh is going to find Sparks. Sparks left wide open for three. No good.
Heinzel doing his best to get around Williams there so he could get that rebound, but the rest sees it otherwise.
They're going to call the foul down low on the block on Heinzel. That's going to be his third. Underneath. Shot blocked. I think they're going to get it on McNair because he left the air and kind of landed on the hip.
Yeah.
And indeed, that's Josh McNair's second. Team's fourth, and that's going to send Sparks to the line. I almost would have taken my chances with Sparks forcing that basket with the trees down low on the block instead of sending him to the free throw line. He's a great free throw shooter.
Most definitely. And they got to do a good job communicating on defense. McNair had his back to the ball, and the inbounder was looking at Sparks the whole time. I mean, they should have known that's where the ball was going, but you see him inbound the ball to him anyways, and then that's where you see the foul getting drawn. So just a little better communication, and they could have avoided that.
Back on the floor is Ola Ayodele for the Golden Eagles. He replaces McNair. Sparks knocked down his first. The second on the way is good off the back iron. Reed cut back down to 8. On the floor for the Golden Eagles, Peppers, Ayodele, Sherman Newsom, Luckett, and Hadrab. Luckett puts the ball on the floor. He's going to attack the basket. Kick out to McVeigh. Picked off by McVeigh. And he's going to go coast to coast with the layup.
Lazy pass by Luckett. You got to have pass with a purpose. And if you're going to pass, put some oomph behind it. Like that's why you see that ball getting stolen there.
Hadrab brings the ball back out. Finds Sherman Newsom. Finds Hadrab. Hadrab. Step-in jumpers. Too strong. No good.
Probably not the best look there. He was contested pretty much all sides.
McVeigh attacks the lane. His floater is good, and the lead cut down to 4 as the Cougars are on a 6-0 run.
They got to do their best to keep McVeigh out of the paint. Anytime you have a guy in the paint, that's a high percentage shot.
Timeout, Golden Eagles, 30-second timeout. We'll take a break. Back on the floor at LCCC Gymnasium, where Western Nebraska has gone on a 6-0 run and cutting the lead back down to 4. LCCC led by as many as 13 through the stretch. But the Cougars have done it on the defensive end, forced the Golden Eagles into some turnovers, and then have contributed on the other end with the lay-ins.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of the turnovers, and the Cougars are doing a good job offensively in transition this half. So Eagles got to do a better job getting back in transition on defense, keeping guys out of the paint. Because like I said, those are high percentage shots. So the more contested of a shot, the better.
Sherman Newsom sets inbound on the side. He hands it off to to Peppers. Peppers off a Luckett's screen. Luckett to the basket. His floater's no good, but he secures his own board. Goes off the glass, too strong. Gets it again, and the third time's a charm.
Luckett doing work on the offensive boards. Great job by Jerry Luckett Jr.
Chase Mason's going to be charged with the personal. That's his first. Team's third of the half. Luckett at the line to try to complete the three-point play. And does so. So that's pure energy and effort saying, I'm not giving up till that ball goes through the back of the net.
Yeah, most definitely. Jerry Luckett, great offensive rebounder and contributing pretty well for the Eagles today, I must say.
Fame's going to attack the basket. No good. Luckett secures the board. He's going to look to go coast to coast. Hands it off to Iodele. An offensive foul.
I don't know about that one. Looked like Mason was still moving on that, but refs see it the other way. Then another thing, it was 2-on-2, maybe wait for your other players to come to that side of the court, but they get the ball back. So
and a turnover on Western Nebraska there. Ball goes through the hands of Bo McVeigh, so a turnover. Ball going back to the Golden Eagles. But that's the pressure that Josh McNair provides on the defensive end. Or excuse me, Iodele provides on the defensive end. A denying defender, very difficult to gain separation on.
Yeah, most definitely.
Peppers, three, no good. Sherman Newsom with the board. Ball stripped off the hands of Luckett.
Sparks doing a good job getting the ball loose there 2 times in a row. I mean, as a post, you got to keep the ball high so you don't allow that to happen, but got some blood maybe.
Jerry Luckett seems to be attended down low by the bench. Has to look like he has a cut on the arm.
Guessing it probably happened down there in the post when Sparks got that ball loose.
Athletic trainer Megan Shiflett doing work, getting that cleaned up so that Luckett can get back on the floor. I believe each team has 1 minute to get that taken care of. If after the minute, then you have to be replaced.
Right.
But it looks like they're going to get that taken care of quickly. Jerry Luckett will return to the floor for the Golden Eagles.
You see some contribution from the athletic trainer there.
And Sparks in possession for the Cougars. Looks to get the offense set. Iodele denying McVeigh. Williams puts the ball on the floor. Back out to Sparks. Sparks with 10 on the shot clock. He uses the screen. Step back three. It falls short. Luckett to Peppers. Peppers, they thought about looking ahead. Probably made the right decision and slowed it down.
Most definitely.
Last touched by the Cougars, so the possession going back to LCCC on the long rebound. It was Williams who tipped it long, but it goes out of bounds. So LCCC with another possession, and that's almost like an offensive board for the Golden Eagles.
Oh, yeah. Can't do much about that. I mean, Tyrell Williams put a little too much on that and goes out of bounds, so that's always helpful.
A drop, step back, jumper off the glass.
I don't know. This game he's pulling out some of his inner Tim Duncan. I don't know. Doing a lot of good things.
I tell you what, though, they're making the Cougars work for every possession.
I don't know. I feel like that was some good defense there.
here's my take on that. If you're going to call that happens, I think, in every possession.
Yeah, so if you're going to do it on this end, you better be doing it on the other end, too. Have to agree with that.
On the floor for the Golden Eagles will be Alfonso Anderson. He's going to replace Sherman Newsom. Sherman Newsom is going to stay. Iodele is the one who's going to step out. Sparks in possession off to Smith. Smith, bounce pass underneath to Williams. Basket's good. But I think they need to call.
Hooked,
and
yeah,
I thought he had
too.
him, and I thought he had hooked himself around.
That's what I thought. Because the seam's doing a good job keeping his hands up and his hips wide, and he's moving well. So I mean, I don't know what else you could have done there.
That's great defense. That's an offensive foul on my thing.
Yeah.
You can't hook the player.
Yeah, you can't hook. Most definitely.
Williams completes the three-point play. The lead back down to 6. Peppers. Sherman Newsom to Peppers. Thought about a 3. Steps into the lane. Finds the drop. Head fake. Off the glass and go.
That shot fake works on Williams, I tell you. They got to start using it more. In the first half, they weren't doing it, and then that's where you see Williams with those blocks. But you give him a shot fake, he's going to be up in the air, no problem. You can go right by him like Nassim just showed us.
They're going to count a defensive goaltending. You can't hit the back of the glass as the ball was on the rim. So the basket counts for Western Nebraska.
Lead back down to 6.
Peppers gets to the lane, and they're going to call a blocking foul. And that's going to be Bo McVeigh. That's going to be McVeigh's second.
Good job by Peppers drawing that foul.
No backcourt violation there. As they said, Williams got a hand on it, tipped it. Peppers being denied. Off to Luckett. Going to attack the lane. Off the glass and go.
That was a good job by Luckett there. Had Williams on his hip, still found a way to get the easy 2.
And good body control there.
Williams kind of hooking there.
Ball off the legs of Anderson, so possession stays with WNCC. Attack the basket. That's going to be Smith. Mason Smith attacked the hoop there.
Refs really aren't letting them play this half. They're a little more strict for some reason. You'd expect in the second half they'd be a little easier on their calls. But, I mean, we can't do anything about it. The players can't do anything about it, and the coaches can't do anything about it. So just got to sit back and watch them do what they do.
Sherman Newsom picks up his second personal, team's 8th. McNair back on the floor for the Golden Eagles. Bowers back on the floor for the Cougars. Mason Smith at the line. Mason Smith on the year, 75% from the foul line. His second on the way is good. And Connor Jr. back on the floor. He's going to replace Sparks. I thought Sparks has done a great job for WNCC on the offensive end. He's done a lot of creating off the offensive end, creating off the dribble, I should say,
yeah,
and creating looks for his teammates.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. And then also on the defensive end, like we saw a few plays back, he did a good job getting the ball loose down in the post. I mean, you don't see it. You don't see a point guard in the post every now and then, but when you do, and he does that, I mean, that's really good for the Cougars. So the Eagles got to find a way to not allow him to get down into the paint and get those nice assists. He's hooking, and they're
going to call the offensive foul with the hook.
They're finally looking for it. They saw he's been doing that lately, so definitely a good eye there by the refs.
But That's the right call. It's the hook every time. He drops to that right shoulder.
All you have to do is just watch. Every time he's on the right side of the paint, he always goes right, hooks with the right. If he's on the other side, you got to watch his left shoulder. It's not that hard of a call. I mean, you just got to pay attention as a ref.
And that's where the coaching staff steps in and gets credit because they have a couple discussions with the officials. Hey, keep an eye on that. Take a look.
Right.
And now they're going to call a foul on Williams with the push on the back. And that's a big one because that's a sport.
Yeah, Williams, they're taking Williams out now. Like I said, anytime he's on the bench, the more time he's on the bench, the better. It's not going to be as hard for the Eagles to score in the paint with him out of the game. I mean, he's a huge defensive presence.
Ball should be inbound on the baseline. It's only 6 team fouls. So yeah, indeed, yeah. Heinzwood lined up to take the free throws, but that's only 16 fouls on the baseline for Peppers. Bounce pass to Luckett. Luckett, no good. Same with the board.
That was a good look there. Just barely missed that.
Connor Jr. off the dribble, ball on the ground. Knocked loose. They're going to get a tie-up.
Alfonso Anderson showing some hustle there. He gets the ball loose, dives on the ground for that ball. I mean, that's something you want to see as Jason Ficca. You want to see Alfonso doing things like that for your team.
We got that corrected. Possession going to WNCC on the tie-up. I thought so because the Golden Eagles had possession to start the second half.
Right. Yeah, a little confusion there by the refs.
But nonetheless, it's all sorted out. Back on the floor, Golden Eagles up 64-58. We're under 9 minutes remaining here. Bowers. Bounce pass. Picked off by Luckett. Luckett to McNair. McNair. Put the ball on the floor. Slow it down. He's going to find Peppers, who steps into a three. Knocks it down.
It's a great job there by Josh McNair to find Gavin Peppers trailing from behind, and he gets that easy three. Had plenty of space to get that three.
Peppers denying Bowers. Three, step in, no good. Blocked. Phil Fain's put back, no good. Anderson secures the board, hands it off to Peppers.
That's good defensive effort there. Everyone's doing their job, making sure that no easy shots get up, and when they do, they're getting the rebounds.
Luckett off to Anderson. Anderson going to come off a Luckett screen. He's going to look to try to ISO off the dribble. He's going to ISO. Floating jumper by Anderson, no good. Ball tipped around.
That's a hard shot. When you're off balance, anytime it's an off-balance shot, it's never easy. So
and Sparks throws it away and a turnover on WNCC.
Yeah, he was bobbling the ball there for a while and kind of just forced that pass. So Eagles regaining the lead up to 9. So that's good stuff.
Timeout Cougars, full timeout. We'll take a break. Community College, where the Golden Eagles are up 67-58, 7:48 remaining. Gavin Peppers, though, killed that run that the Western Nebraska Community Cougars wrote.
Yeah, most definitely. Great job there by the Eagles. I mean, their defensive effort today is just incredible. Like I haven't seen them play as good a defense like this in a while. So it's good to see them having good effort on both ends of the court.
Peppers off to Anderson. Anderson to McNair. McNair pulls the ball back out. to Luckett. Luckett's going to go baseline to Heinzel. Heinzel, left hand, no good. Jerry Luckett with the offensive board has his shot blocked.
Ooh, thought about that one from NBA range. But once again, great effort on the offensive boards. As we talked about before, they're 7th in the nation in offensive rebounding, so they're good at what they do there.
Luckett to McNair, steps into a 2, knocks down the jumper. And that's just excellent ball movement.
Yeah, that was a good job finding the open man. Got the lead back up to 11, which I believe was their highest lead in the first half, so good job by the Eagles.
Bowers, reverse lay-in is good. Draws contact on the way up and will try to complete the 3-point play.
Luckett did his best to get position, but a little behind on that.
That last personal charge to Luckett, that's his third. Bowers at the line. Bowers, the 6'3" sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. And he's had a great performance here this afternoon.
Yeah, most definitely. He's pulled quite the load for him today. I'm pretty sure he's 2 for 2 on threes today, so doing pretty good behind the key, behind the arc, and doing a good job finding his own teammates on some plays too.
Bowers completes that 3-point play. Lead cut back down to 8. Heinzel down low on the block for the Golden Eagles. Bounce pass to Luckett. Luckett puts the ball on the floor, and they're going to wave it off and call an offensive foul. And that's a good call. He looked to push off with that right forearm to get the separation.
If I was Jerry on that, I would have looked back out to Josh. Jerry drew Josh's defender to him, so Josh was wide open behind the 3-point line. That would have been a great shot and a better play than that outcome for sure.
That's Luckett's 4th personal, which is tough to see because he's had a good job. He's had an excellent afternoon on the offensive end.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Bowers fouled on the way to the basket. They're going to charge the personal to Harrison Meads. That's going to be his 2nd, team's 10th.
Bowers is only a 50% free throw shooter, so I mean he's not necessarily a huge threat when you get him at the line, but he's been doing pretty well today.
First one is good. Sherman Newsom back on the floor for the Golden Eagles. He'll replace Anderson. Bowers, good from the 2nd, and the lead cut back down to 6. We approach 6 minutes remaining here at LCCC Gymnasium. Peppers, floater, no good. Bain secures the board. He outlets it to Sparks. Sparks is going to push to Bowers, to McVeigh, who's left open for 3, and knocks it down. And the lead cut down to 3.
Like I said, back to that transition defense. You got to hustle back in transition. I mean, it's a must. Otherwise, you see those easy threes go in like it's nothing.
McNair answers on the other end. That's a good answer for the Golden Eagles. Close that 5-0 run. It allows teams to chip in at the break. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout as the Golden Eagles are taking a timeout. Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where we're having ourselves a barn burner here this afternoon. Golden Eagles up 71-66. What's your take on the game so far, Daniel?
Oh yeah, like we were saying at the beginning, we saw a lot of energy coming out from both teams. So it's not a surprise that this game's as close as it is. Both teams are showing a great effort. There's a lot of contribution for both teams in a lot of places that you might not necessarily expect it. So it's good to see contribution from some of our other players here for the Eagles. And I mean, the Eagles are doing a good job, even though they're going through a little bit of adversity here with the foul calls being a little lopsided. I mean, they're still finding a way to keep the lead. So great job there by the Eagles.
Smith brings the ball for the Cougars to Bowers. Bowers gonna look to create off the dribble. Turnaround, step back, no good. And there's McNair's 10th rebound of the afternoon. So he's got double-digit boards, double-digit points for Josh McNair. McNair to Peppers. Last touch by the Cougars. Checking back in will be Tyrell Williams for Western Nebraska. He's going to replace Payne.
If I was the Golden Eagles here, I would try to get the ball into Heinzel and try and get Tyrell his 5th foul. It'd be a really smart move.
Sherman Newsome to Peppers. Peppers steps into a 3. And that's a spot right there, right in the middle. Step back, and that's the 3rd one he's knocked down from that spot.
And that's the classic elevator doors inbound play. I mean, you lead your player and into those doors, and they close up. You got a nice, easy shot right as soon as you come through, and Peppers finds a way to get that shot in.
Sparks looks to go on the other end. His 3 falls short. Meads with the board. He finds Peppers. Peppers walks the ball across the half. Finds Sherman Newsome underneath to Heinzel. To Peppers. I almost wanted him to take it.
Oh, yeah.
Heinzel underneath. Ball stripped out of his hands. Bowers off to McVeigh. McVeigh steps into a 3 and he answers.
McVeigh's doing a good job on those transition 3s. He's always open. So the Eagles gotta be smart on transition. They better find McVeigh because he's a huge threat in transition.
Right back down to 5 for the Golden Eagles. Sherman Newsome to McNair. McNair to Peppers. Peppers 3, no good. And then they're going to call a foul on Smith. Off the ball foul. That's going to send Harrison Meads to the line.
And the Eagles will take that any day. I mean, Peppers misses the shot, but then now you got Meads at the free throw line. So, hey, can't go wrong there.
It's not a stat that goes into the box scores, but it's almost like another offensive board for the Golden Eagles because you're going to the line.
Yeah, it's another opportunity for second chance points. So I'd put it in that same category.
Harrison Meads at the line. Meads, a 75% free throw shooter on the year, knocks down the first. Meads, the 6'7" freshman from New Plymouth, New Zealand. Too strong on the second. McVeigh secures the long rebound. He brings it across the half. He's going to hand it off to Bowers. Bowers going to look to ISO. Steps into the paint. Finds McVeigh. He gets into the paint. Handoff to Williams. Williams fouled by Sherman.
That was a good job by Isaiah, not to let him get that free basket.
They're going to call the foul on Sherman Newsome. That's going to be Sherman Newsome's 3rd.
It's a lot better to have him earn them there at the line than give him those easy points. So that was good.
Williams has done really well from the foul line this afternoon, though.
Yeah, definitely. And on the season, he's not the best free throw shooter per se, but he's a 65.5% free throw shooter. So, I mean, he contributes pretty well for him there.
And has surpassed the average. He averages nearly about 5 free throw attempts a game. He's surpassed that and gotten to the line 8 times this afternoon.
Yeah, he's doing a good job fronting those Golden Eagle players. So, I mean, you got to stay behind him. If you get in front of him, it's going to be an easier opportunity for Williams to get a bucket. So it's another reason he's been getting those fouls.
So the lead back down to 4. Golden Eagles up 75-71. 3:31 remaining here in the half. or in the game, excuse me, for the Golden Eagles. It's being patient on the offensive end, finding the right looks, and preventing the Cougars really from dribbling into the paint.
Yeah, definitely. With 3:31 left in the game, you got to take every opportunity you can get and make sure you get good looks. You don't want to waste any opportunities. There's no time for that with 3:31 left. You have the lead. You want to build on it. And if anything, let that shot clock and the game clock wind down a little bit. Waste a little time and then try and find a good look.
McNair on the dribble. Splits the D. Finds Meads. Meads steps into a jumper. Too strong. Last touch by the Golden Eagles. Possession going to the Cougars. Smith. Drive to the basket. Lay-in is good by Mason.
Hines needs to slide over there and draw a charge if he can do it.
We're under 3 minutes remaining. LCCC 75, Western Nebraska 73. Peppers uses the Heinzel screen. He finds Meads. Meads to Sherman Newsom. To Heinzel. Heinzel back down. Turnaround hook is good.
That's a good hook shot there by Heinzel. Getting a little too physical there with Williams.
And that's a tough foul on Heinzel because that's going to be his fourth.
And that's not necessarily what you want to do as Golden Eagles. I mean, if you're going to foul them, at least let the clock run down. At least let them run through some plays. Like, just coming down court, I mean, you're not really letting much clock go down, and then you're in the double bonus as the Cougars, and you get 2 free throws regardless now.
And that's the correct call, though. He tried to body him up as he was running down the floor, and you've got to call that as you're leaning into it. I know he's a physical guy. You almost have to just make your ground and not let him get secured down on the block.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Williams got the first to fall, the second on the way. Knocks it down and the lead back to 2.
Williams is contributing really well at the free throw line today, so you got to find a way to not foul him necessarily so much and just stop him down in the paint.
Sherman Newsom to McNair. Down to Meads. Meads. Tip. Sherman Newsom bounce pass to Meads. Ball knocked loose. Kind of went off the foot. Bowers brings it back out. He's going to back. They're going to wave it off in the offensive foul.
It was a great job by Heinz getting in position there.
That's Bowers' third personal. Bowers' third personal. Sherman Newsom.
2 minutes left. Every possession matters here. Clock winding down. Your amount of opportunities are dwindling. Got to take advantage of every opportunity you get.
Luckett for 3. No good. Williams secures the defensive board. He's going to hand it off to Mason.
And that wasn't necessarily the best look for the Eagles. I mean, they're post shooting a 3. And, I mean,
Mason off the dribble behind his back. Back to Smith. I think they're going to try to feed the ball down low to Williams.
Especially because Jerry Luckett's a 17.6% three-point shooter. That is not a high percentage shot at all.
Bowers beats Sherman Newsom off the dribble. And we're tied up at 77 apiece. 1:15 remaining.
If you're the Eagles, you got to find a way to step up your defensive game with a minute left. You cannot allow them to get those easy points, and you have to take advantage of every offensive opportunity.
Luckett. Shot is up, no good. Mason off the dribble on the other end. Timeout, Cougars. gymnasium where the Cougars of Western Nebraska Community College have regained the lead 79-77, 57.5 remaining in the game. They forced the Golden Eagles into some shots that were very difficult. That last one, I thought Jerry Luckett was going to get it to roll in, not able to do so, and then they go on the coast-to-coast and answer off the dribble from Mason. Mason's done a nice job for the Cougars these last couple of minutes. But what do the Golden Eagles need to do here with under a minute, down by 2?
Well, I mean, obviously they got to take care of the ball, and they got to take every opportunity, take advantage of every opportunity, and make sure they make smart plays. Not forcing anything, because every play matters here. If you're down by 2, you have to get a bucket regardless. And then if you do get a bucket, you have to be sharp in your defense.
Peppers gets to the lane. His floater off the glass, no good. Williams gets it. He hands it out to Mason. I don't know if you want to foul Mason.
I would foul Williams.
Bowers off the dribble to McVeigh. Off to Smith. Smith comes off the screen, off to Bowers. Bowers, 3, falls short to Heinzel.
10 seconds left. They've got to get a bucket here.
Off to Peppers. Peppers. Looks to go coast to coast. Floater.
Oh! And Gavin, what an amazing play. Went coast to coast. Sense of urgency there, right?
I mean, that's when your best leading scorer and possibly your offensive player, best offensive player, says, just give me the ball. I'm going to put this in my hands. He answers, 3.5 remaining, 79-79. We're just going to keep it here on the air.
That was a must. That was a must right there. And Gavin did a great job. Found a way to get it back on the other side of the court in transition and took it in his own hands. I mean, if you're the star player, you're the key player for the team, why not? I mean, you're down by 2. You got to do what you got to do to at least tie it anyways.
What you don't want to do, though, now is commit a foul. Or don't give anything in deep in behind you. Can you force something where the Cougars, have to force and take a deep shot, but don't give any open looks. Don't commit a foul. Take this into overtime. Maybe get a steal somehow off of a bad pass. What a game we've had in stand here this afternoon. Winner of this will move on to a quarterfinal matchup for the Region 9 tournament, which takes place on the campus of Otero Junior College in La Junta, Colorado. That tournament will start March 3rd. If the Golden Eagles can hold, force this into overtime and get a victory, they would move on and face either Casper or Little Bighorn. The winner of this match, I said, will face Casper or Little Bighorn. McVeigh set to inbound for the Cougars.
And if anything here, you just got to make sure you keep your man in front of you. Don't let him get behind you.
McVeigh off to Smith. Smith to Sparks. Sparks. 3.
They call a foul after the buzzer. That was a horrible call. If you're going to call that, you call it at the time of the foul. You don't call it after the buzzer. That's kind of poor reffing there. And now you send them to the line to shoot 3 free throws. And like we were talking about, you got to make sure you do not foul, and it happened.
First free throw, no good. He has 2 more to go, as they did call the foul as time expired. He's going to knock down the first. That's a difficult way to end the game. That's a tough way to end the game if you're Western Nebraska and if you're LCCC. Your final, Western Nebraska 80, Laramie County Community College 79. Western Nebraska Community College will move on in the Region 9 tournament, and they will face the winner of Casper College or Little Bighorn. Once again, a difficult way to end for the Golden Eagles. We'll go ahead and take a break and be back with some full game statistics.
Hi, I'm Katie Wells, and this is my LCCC story. I was born in Maryville, Missouri. I was a pretty cute baby, and then I went to Minnesota for just a little bit. Then I moved to South Dakota for 8 years. Oh, and that's a fish hatchery. You know, the fish needs some bubbles. And finally ended up in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Growing up, I always dreamed about becoming a princess, but after some doctor's appointments, that seemed like a fun career too. Growing up with 2 brothers, I learned I didn't want to be a princess anymore and got into sports. I played all of the sports, but wasn't good at them all. I was really just good at soccer. I liked soccer so much, I played for Cheyenne Central High School. Go Indians and Pluck the Duck. Is that how you draw braids? I did well in school and had lots of good friends. See, we're even holding hands. I got involved doing yearbook and DECA, and I got to go to Disney World, but was eager to move on to do something bigger and different. So I took extra classes and graduated early, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do for a career, so I applied to go to Ecuador through the Rotary Youth Exchange and got to take my first trip out of the country. Is that a plane or is that a bumblebee? And when did Ecuador become a square? While I was there on a Skype call home, my mom got me thinking about college applications. I looked into UW, CU, CSU, and a few others that were kind of expensive. My mom didn't crush those dreams, but essentially said, "How poor do you want to be?" Thanks, Mom. My dad made the grand suggestion that I look at LCCC. He had taken classes there and said it would be a good place to figure out what I wanted to do. Plus, they had great scholarships and would bring me back home, which I didn't really like, to be honest. But come home I did, and I became a golden eagle at LCCC. This is the only way I know how to draw birds. It's an eagle, I promise. I was worried there wouldn't be much else to do, and I would be bored a lot, but I was happy to discover lots of opportunities to get involved. I joined the campus activities board and made lots of friends and helped plan some fun events. Balloons. From there, I got involved in student government, which was great because I was an executive and learned a lot of life skills and became a voice for the students. And I really got connected with LCCC staff members, which landed me a job in the Admissions and Welcome Center as an orientation leader, helping other students become a Golden Eagle. That's still a Golden Eagle. During all this, I of course was also going to classes to get my Associate of Arts in General Studies, which I was so happy to complete and graduate in 2014. Yay! Yay! With all these experiences, I finally learned what I wanted to study at my next stop at the University of Wyoming, majoring in communications with a double minor in business management and international relations. Thank you, LCCC, for changing my perspective and transforming me into the motivated, successful student that I am and will continue to be.
For various reasons, many college students get close but don't finish their college degree or certificate. LCCC is working to help those students complete.
The completion agenda is simply about getting more students to complete a higher education credential, a degree or a certificate, something that will help them be successful in their future.
This is a national concern as the United States is slipping in comparison to other countries on their completion rates.
That and the fact that more and more jobs require some education beyond high school necessitates some action. So we need to shift our focus from just getting people into college and actually getting them to complete a credential.
LCCC has a nice head start, graduating the most students in the college's history this past year, despite the decline in enrollment.
The Board of Trustees has committed to an increase each year of 5% in the number of completions that we have. And in our first year of tracking this, we increased by 12%. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Strategies and new practices are being put into place to help with this agenda that ultimately better serve students, including clearly mapped programs, mandatory orientation, high-touch advising, and improved developmental coursework.
We're finally talking about student completion versus just student enrollment. We're really helping students to look at and focus on that end goal. And even before we were able to implement a lot of the things that we know will help, we're seeing those positive movements because we're focused on it.
I'm Lisa Murphy with this Laramie County Community College Spotlight. Community colleges serve as an important bridge for students, transitioning them into higher education and careers.
In an educational ecosystem, you need a high school, you need a community college, and you need a Research One university to really cover everything.
LCCC embraces that transition role with a strong partnership with the University of Wyoming, providing it with developmental coursework.
Without us, so many UW students would not be able to exceed in their degree programs. And this is a relationship that you don't necessarily see. You wouldn't think, oh, the community college is doing all of the developmental math at the university. This is hundreds of students each and every term.
Data shows that students who graduate from a Wyoming community college and transfer to UW complete with a comparable average.
So a student can start with us, seamlessly transfer, or it can be done in the reverse. We have many UW students studying here and then transferring our courses back because it helps them complete and succeed on their 4-year time frame.
Whether a student is working on concurrent enrollment in high school, which counts for college credit, or is planning to efficiently complete a baccalaureate degree in 4 years, LCCC wants to ensure things are aligned to ease the transition process for the students.
They do the hard work of learning, and we do the hard work of teaching and coordinating and making sure these credentials are nationally recognized. Our degrees are important. Our degrees are valuable.
I'm Lisa Murphy with this Laramie County Community College Spotlight.
Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where we have a final. Western Nebraska Community College will advance in the Region 9 tournament. They get the victory over Laramie County 80-79. The Cougars got the victory on a free throw, off of a free throw. I believe it was Chase Mason who shot the foul shot, missed the first, knocked down the second, was fouled as time expired on this three. So he got to the line, knocked it down. For the Golden Eagles, they were led by Gavin Peppers with 25. Josh McNair had a double-double with 13 and 11. Isaiah Sherman-Newsom, 12 points. Derek Bowers led the charge for Western Nebraska. But to me, the big differential right there, Western Nebraska, 27 of 34 from the line. Golden Eagles, 14 of 17. Western Nebraska got to shoot double the amount of free throws as LCCC. What's your take on the game?
Right, like I was saying, the foul calls were lopsided the whole game. Like, that was one thing I really noticed. I mean, like we were talking about many times before, if they're going to call something on one end, they need to call it on the other. And it was rare where they did that. And the most controversial of all those calls was the last one. The foul had already been committed. The buzzer had already gone off. And then the ref waited seconds after. So people already expected, okay, we're going into overtime. And then, oh, what do you know? The whistle blows and the ref says foul. I mean, it doesn't get much more controversial than that. And it's kind of just a testament to how the whole game went with the refs.
It's a tough way to end for the Golden Eagles as their season will conclude. The Golden Eagles finished the year 19-12, so just shy of the 20-win mark. matches like this are difficult to swallow because, this Golden Eagles squad, such a talented squad, and it's just a tough way to end the game. You hate seeing a team lose, regardless of who we're supporting. You hate a team to lose that way, and especially with, like you said, a physical, heated, battled game that it was. You almost let these guys
let them play.
Finish it out on the court and play.
Like, that's what I was really surprised about. Like, we saw in the first half, they were pretty strict on the foul calls, and then they come out in the second half even more strict than the first. Like, that's the main thing. You got to let them play. This is a playoff game. This isn't a regular season anymore. You got to be on top of your calls just as the players are on top of their game. So it kind of, I'm not going to blame it all on the refs because they can only control so much. The Eagles did a few things, had quite a few turnovers, and had some things that they could have controlled themselves to, make the game go their way. But like you were saying, regardless of who the team is, whether it's our team or someone else's team, you don't want your season to end in a controversial way.
And for the Golden Eagles, once again, the final, Western Nebraska 80, Laramie County Community College 79. Golden Eagles close out the year 19-12 on the season.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. This production has been brought to you by Laramie County Community College's student media organization, The Wingspan, and Laramie County Community College's athletic department. This afternoon's broadcast was directed by Jacob Hamill. Thank you to the members of our crew, Cody Fox, Emily Grace Peel, Rafael Munoz Vega, and Charles Deathridge. Technical support was provided by Ted Wickham, Austin Matthews, Josh Stein, Jacob Sherlock, and Jay O'Brien. For LCCC's Wingspan Student Media on Charter Channel 191, this is Daniel Lucero and Jose Arenas signing off.